Put you on real quick, right? Now, if you have not been watching AEW Dynamite or Collision or whatever other show they got going on, you're missing out because this Mariah May and Tony Storm rivalry is, man, it's hitting on all cylinders because they got the Death Riders going on in AEW, and God knows what up with Omega and Osprey feuding with the Don Callis family, which I don't know why, because Osprey or Omega was with the Don Callis family before he got hurt and he went out for a year and a half, almost 2 years, I think. But this Mariah May and Tony Storm feud is off the hook, and it's long term storytelling at its best. And if you have not watched it, you need to get your ass in a seat, put it on YouTube, and look up on the highlights because this is awesome. And I feel like talking about it today. So spark it up and let's talk some wrestling.
We are Wrestling with Weed, the podcast.
What's poppin'? It's the Boo Shadow with Batty Around, Hollywood Haley J, and you're listening to Wrestling with Weed.
Wrestling with Weed. Check them out.
I'm Sabu, and you're watching Wrestling with Weed podcast.
It's your Olympic hero Kurt Angle, and you're listening to Wrestling with Weed. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Ooh, why do you always spark it on the wrong side? All right, here we go. Here we go. Tony Storm and Mariah May rivalry feud, whatever you want to call it. But let me tell you this: I couldn't tell you who Mariah May was before this whole interaction of her being Tony Storm's sidekick when she was timeless Tony Storm, and she was following her, and you kind of knew that, she was gonna turn on her eventually. Because if you watch enough wrestling, you could tell storylines and what's gonna happen, and the excitement is just watching it play out. You know what I'm saying? And it's awesome to know certain little things from watching wrestling for so many years. You could pick up on little hints there and there. You know what I'm saying? But on the other side, Sparky. But Tony Storm, that's one ball WWE dropped with her because she's just gold. She's just magic. Like she comes on screen. Even when she first came out as a regular Tony Storm gimmick, everybody loved it. She was over. Then they had her with the Outcast, or I forgot what they were called, with her and Paige, and then Ruby Riott, and you could kind of tell that she was the star of the group. Everybody else was. I'm pretty sure like Paige was a star at one point, but I think her stardom came like a flash in the pan because she came at a time when there wasn't a lot of superstars in WWE, and they put her over real quick, and she was young and she was pretty. And I think the downfall with her is when she had that sex tape with Xavier Woods and the other dude. I forgot the other dude's name. But yeah, like Paige is all right, but her in-ring ability really wasn't up to par with most of the wrestlers that I've seen, with most of the women wrestlers that you see now. You know what I mean? She can't hold a candle really to Charlotte Flair. She can't hold a candle to Bianca Belair. She can't hold a candle to Bayley. You know what I'm saying? Tiffany Stratton, I mean. You know what I mean? Like, those are just WWE guys, but you got Tony Storm. She can't keep up with Tony Storm. She couldn't keep up with Jade. Come on, she's like, but Tony Storm was the star of that group, and you could clearly see it. Then when she turned and became Tony Storm, timeless Tony Storm, it was awesome. And she got a little sidekick, Mariah May. And back then, that was what, I'll say a year ago, maybe. Damn, time flying. Maybe a year and a half. But I didn't know who Mariah May was. And I used to tell Broski when we used to watch it, I go, man, that Mariah May, she looks like Tiffany Stratton. You know what I mean? They had the same sort of in-ring gear, blonde hair, beautiful, and it was like, I didn't know who she was, but after being in this feud and turning on Toni Storm, and not just turning on her, but bashing her head with a heel of a shoe and busting open Toni Storm, and Toni Storm selling it and putting her over, making her a star, because Mariah May is a star. Let me tell you that. And I'll give it, if she keeps going the way she's going and doesn't get distracted or deter from whatever she's gonna do, and she just keeps going with this momentum, because she could lose the belt now. She's at a peak where she could lose the belt and win the TBS championship from Mercedes Moné, and that's a whole other video of all the money they gave Sasha Banks, and she's not drawing shit. Tony Khan, you need to know who to sign and who not to sign. He needs somebody behind him helping him out. I don't know why he has all these legends backstage and not have one of them help him with creative. Doesn't make any sense to me, but that's a whole other episode that we're gonna do on Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, CEO. You are not over. You're just overrated and overpaid, in my opinion. I don't know what anybody else thinks. People might hate me for that, but that's just my opinion. Toni Storm is the real star of that division. I forgot that you had Deonna Purrazzo. Why the fuck is she teaming up with my boy John Morrison's girl on these crazy vignettes? I mean, it's decent because Morrison's girl, Kaya Valkyrie, I think that's how you say her name. Sorry if I missaid it, but mispronounced it. But she shouldn't be with her, and if they are, they should be on the main roster going for that world title, or at least the TNT title or TBS title or whatever title Sasha Banks got. But it's like you give Sasha Banks creative control, and there's so many other. Why is Thunder Rosa not in the running for a title? That doesn't make no sense to me. But that's just me. That's just that's my opinion. Wrestling with Weed's opinion. But Toni Storm, she's killing it. So is Mariah May. Mariah May really showed that she is a superstar. Her walk, the way she comes to the ring, the way she interacts with the crowd, the way she interacts with the commentary or Tony Schiavone or whoever's interviewing her. And I know somebody caught backstage where Mariah May came out dressed as Toni Storm and was taking real long, and then you hear Tony Schiavone say, "Come on, bitch, start talking already," or he said something like that, but he called her a bitch. And that's just, if that's legit anger, then she's getting over. You know what I mean? I'll buy. What I failed this weekend or last weekend at the Rumble was I should have bought. They had a dope ass Charlotte Flair shirt. It was like gray, and then it had Charlotte Flair. I should have bought it because regardless if you like her or not, she's going to the WrestleMania either to put somebody over or to win a title. But she's gonna be at WrestleMania. That's a guarantee. And who else can you say that about? That either they go to WrestleMania, even if she loses, it doesn't diminish her character or her star power. It puts over the next person. And if she wins, makes her even better. So that's a win-win. But Charlotte Flair had a dope-ass shirt, and I forgot to get it. Maybe I could order it. Jacob Fatu got a dope-ass hoodie. He has an all-red one too now, so I'll probably get that all-red one. But yeah, back to Toni Storm. Toni Storm, Mariah May. If you guys are not watching this storyline, Toni Storm just came out just like Mariah May, and I was like, holy shit, I honestly thought it was Mariah May. And then boom, you can see the difference, the body-wise or whatever, Toni Storm's a little thicker than Mariah May's a little more skinnier, but not by much. They're almost identical, and it's pretty dope that they could find two wrestlers that look similar, you know what I mean? And they could use that sort of gimmick of one dressing up like the other, and the feud. It's just, to me, I think they're having, I forgot what it was. They're having some special Dynamite, and I feel like they should be the main event of that Dynamite. Because if you really look, this could be this generation's like Lita and Trish. You know what I'm saying? Even though Lita and Trish may have been a little more athletic, maybe, I'm not saying they are, but maybe in some people's eyes, you could go either way. I just feel like they should give them the main event for that next special Dynamite because their feud is awesome. You know what I'm saying? It's not as good as, I guess it storyline and feud wise it is, but the matches may not be as good as Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa back in the day. But I feel like Mariah May and Toni Storm, their feud, it shouldn't end there. They should end this in a steel cage, I think. But I'm a little crazy. But it should at least be one of the main events for that upcoming big Dynamite. I forgot what it was. It was Dynamite something. But because they got a bunch of different Dynamites with these special names, and they're sort of like their pay-per-view, sort of not, you know. So if you haven't checked it out, check out Mariah May, Toni Storm feud, AEW. If anything, that feud right there will get you to start watching AEW. And you never know. You might like the Death Rider storyline. You might like Kenny Omega storyline. I hope he turns on Will Ospreay. There's a bunch of other stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So Jeff Jarrett's there. He's feuding with MJF still, I think. You know, so there's a lot of stuff to be interested about. You know, it's just more wrestling, more entertainment for us. So I'm gone from Wrestling with Weed. Remember, like, subscribe, hit a follow button if you haven't. Hit that notification bell so you get notified for our next video, which is going to be the vlog from Royal Rumble. So we're gone from Wrestling with Weed.